Hello everyone, this is Waldorf.
And Statler.
I got it right that time.
You did.
And this is the Battle Report 312.
312.
Orcs and Goblins versus the Asklanders.
Or Asklanders, or however it's pronounced.
However you want to do this. This game took place in Statler's bunker.
Yes.
In your nice little COVID hideout.
I got my COVID hideout with my UV light bulbs everywhere.
UV light bulbs, your guards at the door.
Yep. Social distancing.
Your testing, temperature taking.
Yes.
Anyway. All right.
I want to do a little better job with the bubble wrap suits. Those were a little constraining.
Did cause problems during the game.
Yeah. Kept dropping the figures.
I've kind of taken to heart my move towards infantry. As you'll see in this list, and like I mentioned to somebody else I know, I said finally my leg apparently healed.
You're no longer walking with a limp.
Exactly, because I've gotten rid of my crutch, which is the gargantula.
Yeah.
No gargantula in this list. So my three characters are pretty much like they've been stuck forever. Whether they're on boards or not is the only real question. I have not seen a better warlord build than that guy. Anyway.
For an orc.
For an orc warlord build. I just can't find it. I've seen guys do so different things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the Omen of the Orc Apocalypse. I'm not a big fan of. Anyway.
I like it, just not on that guy.
So infantry. I've got 36 common orcs with shields and spears, full command in green tide. 30 more common orcs, spears and shields, full command in green tide. 30 common Ed Bashers, not ferals. They have spears and shields, full command, and the Relentless Company. Banner of the Relentless Company for the 15-inch march move.
Right.
23 Iron Orcs, full command in the green tide. Like I said, which green tide needs to be a 0-4 option. 5 Boar Boys with light lances and shields, just as a mobile scoring unit. 2 units of 10 Nashers. 3 units of Chaff, 2 Forest Goblins and 1 Common Goblin, and 2 Skewers to round it out.
So 2 Spitters and 1 Wolf.
Correct. Like the Spider. I still like the Wolves better. The Spiders, I think, lost their play. One of them, at least, I think I'm going to go the other way. 2 Wolf Riders.
2 Wolves, 1 Spider.
Correct, 1 Spider.
Yeah, one's better in the early game, the other one's better in the late game.
I do like the ambushing part of the Spiders because your opponent has to account for that.
Right.
So that's the bonus of having those, and that's why I kind of like 2. But the extra 4 inches of movement from the Wolf Riders on a march move.
Scouting, not ambushing, right?
Scouting. Yeah. Sorry, scouting. You're correct. I misspoke. The extra 4 inches of march move when the Wolf Riders, when you need to get them someplace, to me is invaluable.
When you positively need to get them there, you need a wolf.
You need a wolf.
Yeah.
Since you can't have a 10-inch move guy, you have.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's my army. The tan guys on the back left are the Ed Bashers.
Isn't that really the center left?
Whatever. And then the rest of my army. The big deals. Again, the spells I chose. If I haven't mentioned this before, when you have the hereditary icon, of course, you get the hereditary spell. Magical Heirloom gives you the hereditary spell. The 3 on the top are the standard shamanism spells. You're going to take them every time.
Yep.
Scarification comes with that. The choice is Swarm of Insects or Chilling Howl is your choice for the final spell.
Yep.
The other one, whatever the Battle Rage one is,
just too situational limited to make it to the top, considering the other options.
Can be fun at times, but just not the.
Especially if you can cast it on an opponent at the critical time.
Yes, exactly.
I think you had a story on that.
I did. At the final turn, I cast it on my opponent one time had a Elven Master caster walking around on his own. I managed to get that spell off. He failed his frenzy check and ended up having to charge into my Iron Orcs.
Yep.
Made it all worthwhile.
I'm sure it did.
So like I said, it's just the question of Chilling Howl. You don't have enough shooting for the Chilling Howl to affect.
Right.
And you didn't have damaging spells that I was worried about either, because you can use the Chilling Howl at the higher casting and give you the -1 to wound on spells as well.
Right.
But you just didn't have the damaging spells, so.
Right.
Swarm of Insects it is.
Yes, it's already a 1.
And Swarm of Insects itself is
Yeah.
not an issue. So here was your list.
Okay, so I had gotten a new computer and I switched to Mac, and unfortunately, I found out the night before that Army Builder doesn't work on Mac in the current configuration. So the next morning, I had to find my old computer and update it and find a list real quick, and this is what I came across. Um, the starts off with a Jarl Chief,
You
who's
have
my
a lot of
general.
excuses.
I do. The a Jarl Chief, who's my general, paired weapons, throwing weapons, heavy armor, shield, um, shield breaker, basalt infusion, lucky charm, obsidian rock, and he's on a war dais. Then the BSB Chief, who does not have a longship raid, but I paid for it. Has a spear, throwing weapons.
Well, he had it.
Yeah,
He
he
just
had it.
didn't use it.
Well, it's a legal build, I think. Heavy armor, a shield, Aratoki, which is the double crush attack weapon, 2 ether icons, and a war dais. Then I had another chief who did have a longship raid with throwing weapons, berserker's pelt, shield, a symbol of slaughter, war dais, and he was supposed to have paired weapons. So I guess that makes up for the spear on the guy above. Then had a chief with a longship raid with the spear, throwing weapons, heavy armor, shield on a war dais. I had side Kenner with paired weapons, light armor, binding scroll, magic heirloom. He was an adept with witchcraft, and another side Kenner with paired weapons and arcane mastery, and he was adept in shamanism. Thought I would just try to spread out the magic a little bit, and I want a little bit of the two paths.
Yeah, like I said, you've hit what I consider the minimum, which is 5 spells.
And
So
I think you have to have 5 spells.
right.
Yeah.
So I think that's good,
Yeah.
especially if your opponent throws out a binding scroll at some point.
Yes. Yeah. Or you run up against those dwarves who can do even worse.
Yes.
Then we had 2 units of Asklanders with the champ, a standard, great weapons, and shield. 1 unit of 15 Asklanders with bow, light armor, and shield. 2 units of Warhounds, 5 each. A unit of 15 Huskarls with a champ as standard. He was supposed to have a musician. Spear, a throwing weapon, and banner of discipline, which I totally forgot about. Not that I don't think it came up. Um, Unit of 10 Berserkers with champ and paired weapons. 2 units of wargs, 2 each, so minimum size, and 2 giants with tribal war spears.
That giant's nice. I like your giant.
I
I
like
like the Asklander giant, I should say.
I like that giant, and I like the him going with the units. I think it gives you a flavorful thing.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fairly inexpensive giant for what he is. He's slightly cheaper than a normal one.
Yeah.
And he's got a good ability, so
Yeah.
I like him. All right, and there's your army.
And there's my army. The 2 big blocks in the back are the Aslanders with the great weapons, and the woolly mammoths are my giants. And then next to them is the Huskarls, and they got the dogs and the wargs and unit of archers and the berserkers, and the 2 small guys are my magic users. And I've had this freaking old dark master wizard for years. I've never used them, and finally I used them in a game after like 20 years. Yeah. The 4 large bases are my war dioceses, and I didn't like the idea of guys on thrones or weird things, so I just decided to go with a character and having their own pet hunting dogs.
Yeah, didn't like guys carrying around your Viking leaders.
Nah, just didn't fit for me for the army.
Okay, didn't have the right size base for the guys over there. Berserkers either, did you?
Sorry?
Didn't have the right size base for the berserkers either, did you?
For the berserkers?
A movement tray.
Oh, I think I was still. I forgot what. Oh no, I was. Yes, that's a whole other story.
And what are these miniatures, by the way?
I'm sorry.
Whose are these miniatures?
They
Names,
are
but
they are
models.
a mix. Basically, I took all my all my models that I had for Saga, different Viking armies, and I just remounted them on square
Okay.
bases.
I like the shields a lot.
They are a mix of Vitrix, Old Glory, and uh, who's the one that does Saga? The company that sells it, Gripping Beast.
Okay.
The dogs are just some. I think they might be old Valparth or whatever wolves or hounds I
Hmm.
found at a convention in a tray at like 50 cents each.
Right.
And except like 2 of them, I think, are the new ghost miniatures. I needed because I needed 2 more models. The wargs are from not from Mears. I'm trying to remember the company that does the undead orcs and goblins,
Yeah, I
and
know who you're
does
talking
and
about.
does
I'm
the
not going to remember
and
the
does the
name.
dwarf blimps, and
Correct.
um,
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
can't remember who they are. I got a number of those, and then the characters. I said they're one guy's a GW and the other guys are mixed from different companies.
Okay. And of course, the camera focused towards the back, not the front.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. You wanted to show off
didn't
those tusks.
want to show off your blazingly white tusks, so it'll
Yeah,
bother one of our friends.
yes. Even though they are shaded. All right, and these blurry things are my spells. The Twisted Effigy and Deceptive Glimmer on Witchcraft, and then Swarm of Insects, and I always forget the +1
Awaken
toughness,
the beast.
Waken the Beast, and the other spell is just a holder for my attribute spell because I have the deck you get to the Ninth Age guys, and unfortunate, or you can order, they don't have the Astlander army spell in
The
there. So
hereditary for the
yeah,
Asklanders,
so
the
I just
+1 armor.
had to put something in there.
All right. So we're going to be playing Refuse Flank, and we're not playing Spoils of War. We are playing Breakthrough.
Okay.
Should have fixed that while we
Oh
had our
well,
technical difficulty.
these
But
things happen.
whatever. And just to make it clear, this is the tablecloth from Cigar Box Games.
Scarus battles, yes, and
Cigar
it's
Box Battles.
yeah. So the table's a little extra sized.
Right.
It's just under 7 and just under 5 wide and just under 5 deep.
Right.
That did have a little bit of an impact on gameplay. Then we have two. This is from the map pack, correct? So there's from the top there's a wall. There's actually a hill, which we'll see in the next picture a little better behind the woods. It's hard to see because it's under the mat. This mat is made out of fleece. Another wall, impassable, woods, a ruin, a field, and then a water feature.
Okay. And then
All
the hill, as you can see it a little bit
a
better
little bit
there. I
better
got
in
a
this picture, yeah.
little bit better picture of it so you can see how we do it. This is, like I said, this is typically how we play most of our other
Yes,
war games. It's hills
non
when you're
fantasy war
not
games.
playing on the mouse pad type
Right.
mats. We put hills under the cloth so it kind of looks better.
Yes.
Doesn't show up very good in pictures, of course,
No, it
but
does
that's
not.
what it is. And you won the roll off to pick sides.
And I was thought back and forth, and I said, well, I didn't want you to have the hill, and I wanted to have that as a possible thing to hide behind.
Right.
And I was hoping to draw you maybe through the woods
Right.
and to somewhat anchor my army a little bit with the ruins,
Yeah.
knowing that you had more combat blocks in the front line than I did.
Yeah, I have quite a bit. I've got you in the numbers game, I think, on this one.
Yeah.
I looked at it and said, okay, this is great because I can line the iron orcs up behind the forest. They
Hmm.
go through it and they're still bodyguards, so they don't care about the forest breaking up their steadfast or anything.
Right.
So I anchored my line with a bolt thrower on each end.
Yep.
There's another unit of Nashers just over the hill. Um, I mean, just over the
Past the building,
building,
right next to the
the
boar
Boar
boys.
Boys.
Yeah.
And just to give a shout out to my buddy Ralph from Ohio. These are the Nashers he sent me. He sent me a ton of Nashers,
Yep.
which was very nice of him. So there you go. Scouting and Vanguard are done in this picture. You can see I've
Yeah, you'd actually deployed in front of the bolt thrower.
correct in the field
Yeah.
because I could deploy within 12 view in cover.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you shifted to the left, I believe.
I don't think I'm.
Oh, I don't think
No,
you've gone yet. No, you
nothing.
stay.
Nothing's
You
happened.
elected not to move.
I did not because I thought I might get because I had to go first. So
Correct.
I thought I might get a charge off. So I decided to leave them there.
Right, and you've got a 19-inch charge if you wanted at the bolt thrower by
Yeah.
not moving. Because I placed it on the line.
Yeah, and then I didn't want them too far from my leadership because our leadership isn't very good sitting in front of a bolt thrower.
Correct.
Which I messed up anyway. But
yeah, I moved both the spider gunners. I just shift both the spiders to the right.
Yep.
Get to the center of the line, surprisingly where they belong. Wolf Riders got out in front of the Ed Bashers and just shifted off to the right, where they can take some pot shots at the dogs.
Right.
Not the wargs, the
But
dogs.
the dogs, yes.
So, and there we go. So that's about just another shot of my line down the length of my line. And this is your first turn.
Yes, I ended up not charging because it was just a little too far, and I didn't want to get hit by those Nashers that you position there if I with a failed charge and just lose the unit. And then I shifted the wargs a little bit, and I brought up the archers a little farther, and I moved the other unit of dogs to the flank some more to try to just stretch out and keep you at a little bit of a distance. And I had to shift sideways with my 2 blocks instead of backwards because I didn't realize until I read closer that the dogs are not light troops.
Right.
So I had to deploy because the plan was to hold them back there until later and then use them as chaff. It's like, oh, I can't just do free reforms.
They don't fill this role as
Yeah,
well as I thought.
this is not good. So I ended up shifting sideways to get more behind the woods and get those forward, and this probably was not a smart move. Anyway,
I mean, this was fine. That move was fine, I thought. Anyway, I
yeah.
didn't have
Well, it sets up things later.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right.
So I get Twisted Effigy off. I think you tried to stop it this turn.
This is the first turn. Maybe.
Yeah, and it
No, I think I concentrated because I think you tried a totemic first.
I didn't have Totemic.
I guess not then.
Yeah.
Maybe I did just let this. I
Yeah, I
don't know.
think you let.
I don't remember.
I think you tried to stop it, and I just outrolled you.
Okay. Could be.
Yeah.
And again, you don't show it, but
And then I got Swarm of Insects off, which you did let go through, and I think maybe it shows in the next one. I think I got like 2 wounds.
yeah, it doesn't show. You did
3
3
wounds.
wounds to my skewer down there on the
Yeah,
bottom
and the
left.
scarification is just on the wizard that's over there in that big block with the BSB.
Okay.
I'm sorry, that's the yeah, it's BSB. So
BSB.
who's the BSB? Who's the Army General?
So my turn. My turn 1. I need to roll an 11 to get to those wargs, but again, knowing what I'm doing this turn, it doesn't really matter if I fail. So I went ahead and gave it a shot. I think you made the right choice and fled.
Yeah, it wasn't a great chance for you to get me, but I thought if you got to me, you just munch them, and then you would just follow right through into those dogs.
Right.
And then now I've got this, and you'd beat charging them, you would beat them in combat. Now I've got this unit of chaff behind my lines,
Correct.
and
Especially with great weapon guys who can't go even close to the same time these
right,
guys are.
right, and
They're going to just munch guys.
and I didn't need I didn't need the combat res, so it's like okay, I need to keep those away for now.
Yeah. I thought that was
Yeah.
There's no reason to take that chance of me
Right.
rolling the 11. I didn't. I rolled really bad and barely moved at all, but
Yeah.
it's what it was. The rest of my line moved up. Both the Spider Riders came up within 8 inches to throw their weapons.
Oh, the white disc is the
plus movement.
was it plus movement?
Yes, you were
Yeah.
using it for your plus movement, and then
Yeah.
the black is your
Yes,
minus.
yes.
If you cast it that way.
Right.
Or at least that's what we
Was the
discussed.
attribute what I was going to say. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I said, I brought the Spider Riders up with throw their throwing weapons at the
Mhm.
dogs on the left.
Yep.
On the right, the Wolf Riders did not move, so they could try to shoot up the dogs on the right.
Yep.
And my line came forward, not as much as I should have at this point.
Yeah.
In my mind, I think I should have gone farther forward with the Spider Riders and then brought my line up to 12 and a half behind them. But I did not.
Yeah, at this point, I was happy you didn't move up farther. So it's like, okay, I got
it's
more
kind
time.
of falling into what you wanted to happen. So there you go. Again, pretty sure I should have gone forward. So this is kind of a mix of my shooting and magic. Magic, I got off a swarm of insects and did 3 wounds to the wargs.
Yep, I let that go through.
Yeah, because you let it go through, and then I proceeded to roll 3 6s and 2 5s or something
so
for number.
you had 5 shots for 5s, and of course you had 4s for wound, and you killed
2 of your dogs.
2 guys. I failed my leadership and
your
ran away.
mighty leadership 6 or whatever. They decided they were done and
Yep.
left.
So I was sad.
Which was a great relief because I had brought up the boar riders you see over here on the right, but I was concerned about them taking their unleash the hounds and moving past me.
Yep.
Which they could not do, but of course they're not going to do it now because
Yes.
they were unleashed and ran the other way.
I wasn't planning on doing that. I was hoping to use the unleash the hounds and wipe out your wolf riders.
Yeah. Which they probably would have done.
Yeah.
Shooting here, 20 shots here, not as successful as the 5 on the other side. I managed to, or
Well,
as
successful.
equal as the 5 on the other side. I managed to kill 2 of the
Yep.
dogs over here. I needed to kill at least 1 more.
Yep.
But did not. And then the bolt thrower shoots. Bolt thrower shoots and managed to put another 2 wounds on the wargs, which finished one off and left a wound on that one.
Yep.
1 wound on it,
One
leaving
wound on
3
it.
left.
Yep.
Right. Okay. And that's it. We're going to go into turn 2.
That also made me sad.
That made me happy. The other bolt thrower, you can see the wounds on it down there on the bottom left. I did not fire at this turn since it had the swarm of insects. I just moved it forward 4 inches into the field. Not far enough in the field because it couldn't get that far, but that's where I moved it. And that was it. So going into turn 2.
And you've casted something. I don't know.
I don't remember casting anything effective at all on this turn.
Yeah, I don't recall. Okay.
I don't see any cards down.
Well,
I did get the swarm of insects.
Yeah, because you got scarification up, so yeah.
The swarm of insects is what got the scarification up. Anyway.
Okay.
So
I declare a charge. I think I'll try to get rid of using the Unleash the Hounds, try to get rid of the spiders.
And I am out of you're inside your movement range.
Yes.
So I can't stand and shoot.
So I thought I'd charge that one. Maybe I get a little luck with my throwing weapons on the other one. In retrospect, I may have been better off charging the other one, but oh well. The longship raid comes on. I brought the Huskarls behind the bolt thrower. The idea was I was going to try to magic it off and then shoot up your Nashers. If I failed, I'd shoot up the bolt thrower to get rid of it one way or the other. Try to get rid of that bolt thrower. The other guys, the berserkers, came on, and they just came on behind your battle line. It all looked very positive at this point.
What are you saying?
I think even you were murmuring to a certain degree.
Looks like a rally there as well.
Then my guys rally. However, they rally in a bad spot because I can't shift the way I want to with my guys because they're right behind me.
Yeah, may have. I don't know if you had the room, but put them in like a one behind the other formation. Maybe was an option.
No, because even that they were just how they were at the center point. It just stopped them from. If you go straight back, it ends up be still an inch away.
Right. Okay.
Because
Okay. And which prevented you from backing up much with these units.
Yeah, I backed up a little bit, but it wasn't as much as I wanted to. Not that I had a lot of backing. I think I only want 1 inch instead of 2 inches. So use my throwing weapons, and from the general and the BSB, and kill 2 of these guys. They passed their leadership because they're close to the general and the BSB. The dogs that charged the Spider Riders, killed 4 of them, lost 1 themselves. You failed, ran away. I didn't catch you.
Yep. And I'm really happy with where that all ended up.
Yeah, I was not, because everything was kind of...
It's all right there in the mess.
In the wrong spot.
Correct.
It blocks me from going where I want to go with my Huskarls.
Right.
And I still have to,
Yeah, I didn't notice that. I guess I did have a charge on the dogs, didn't I?
Yeah.
Okay. And there's
your turn.
Yep. Back to my turn. My turn. The Nasher herd was not going to charge the dogs because that's not where I really needed them. They just reformed to where you see them.
Yes.
Probably could have done the same with a wheel, or probably got them in a better spot with a wheel now that I think about it. But they just reformed, and I thought that was good enough because your dogs are in my front. You can wheel past me with the big unit, but you can't wheel past me and the dogs. And if the dogs come in to charge, they're going to be in your way. You can't wheel past me.
I think when we measured it, I couldn't wheel past you.
Oh, you can't wheel past my Nashers?
Yeah, I got within a half inch of you.
Oh, okay.
And part of this is my own fault because of being lazy and not putting the guys in the units.
Oh, the characters.
Yeah.
Right.
So their frontage was much wider than it needed to be.
Okay. Yeah, well, for those good wide units.
Yep.
There's a unit of chaff doing what it's actually supposed to do which is real shocking when it's in one of my videos, at least one of my units. So it's going to block off both your big blocks of Asklanders.
Yep.
And because of that, my units come up hard. I think I'm 11 inches away from you at this point.
Yep.
Ish, somewhere around there. Maybe even close. Maybe I even went up to 10 on the overrun. I'm not sure. Over here, the Wolf Riders peeled back around because they're going to be needed around behind me. The Ed Bashers triggered the Relentless Company banner and marched up 15.
Yep.
Just pushing towards your flank. They're actually in your flank of that Asklander.
Yeah, I think they are, yeah.
At the moment, but it doesn't require much to get you back out. Nashers and the Boar Riders came forward up on the top.
Actually, I don't think they were in the flank.
Really?
I think we checked it.
And they were.
No, it wasn't them. It was the Nashers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, and managed to get off the big totemic summons. He popped up here in front of this unit of berserkers.
Yep.
He tried his breath weapon, didn't do anything.
But he burped instead of breath weaponing.
He apparently did. And the other thing I did is I got
on my previous turn. I took 22 shots with my.
Oh yes.
Needing 5s to hit, and I managed
6s because I was in cover.
Yeah, it's -1. I'm started at a 4.
That's a good point.
And I managed to kill one guy.
You did. They're really tough. Though.
It would seem so. Yes.
Yes. Your strength 4 is no good against tough 3.
Yeah, and 2 strength 5.
Correct.
I actually think one of those was the character.
I actually got off the swarm of insects a second time and finished off the warg up top.
Yep. I'll let that go through because I didn't want something else.
And not a great chance of me doing 3 wounds either.
Yeah. This is just marking my charge. I didn't realize at the time, I'd totally forgotten these guys were light troops.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so you could have just walked.
I could have just gone around you.
Yeah, but then I would have charged you in the rear.
Yeah, I would have
killed me before I go.
I would have taken that chance with those guys.
Yeah.
Because they needed to be in the fight. But so I charged because I thought I was stuck.
Okay.
And the Huskarls, because I couldn't wheel past you because I got too close and the dogs were in the way to do anything.
Boom.
Because I thought, I'll just charge the character. I was like, oh, wait a second. The way I've got deployed, I have to fill in that gap.
Oh, right.
Right.
Your unit B's.
Because I have the same footprint.
Correct.
So I couldn't do that either. So I said, okay, I got no choice. I got to get rid of these guys.
Okay.
And then I'll still be hopefully in the fight.
And because of that, your dogs didn't quite have the room to wheel past you.
They did not, and not being light troops, I just had to do a reform with them. Other units, the wargs moved sideways because I needed to get them out of the way. I didn't want to move them sideways,
right.
But
because of that projecting guy on the corner.
Because the projecting guy in the corner, I was stuck. So I moved them sideways, and then I backed up the 2 blocks as far as I could. The mage left the archers and just went behind the hill because I figured there was a good chance somebody was going to come eat them.
Yeah, probably a good good bet.
And then I got Twisted Effigy off again. Yes.
Might as well not have picked that card up almost the entire game.
Yeah, and I think I also got the armor.
You did. I think that's what's on your marker back there.
Yeah, I think I +1 armor on my guys.
No. I think what happened is the one on the left, now that I remember, the one on the left is your attribute.
Scarification.
And the one on the right was the +1 toughness. You put +1 toughness on that.
Oh, okay. All right.
The Wake and the Beast is on them.
I had forgotten. All right.
Yeah, now that I recall that, because that was what decided me on the way that my next turn went.
Right. And then the the throwing weapons, I threw them at the spiders. Killed 2 more, but the last guy still survived.
Yeah, just short of what you needed.
Yep.
Because that's a key thing for me right there that has that left. Of course, you killed my troll.
Yes, munched him and vaporized these guys. Then they both reformed to face towards the battle line.
So my turn, like I said.
At this point, they're at long charge range.
Correct.
Not terribly long, but long enough.
And I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, well, I have to get moving because I can't, I don't want to get sandwiched between the guys in the back, guys in the front. Start with the Ed Bashers up on the top right. They're going to charge into the archers on the hill.
Yep.
My idea there is I should easily crush this unit and spin and face the flank,
Hmm.
face downhill, which
Oh,
also gives me the downhill.
right. I must have shot at your Nashers the previous turn.
You did. The archers
Yeah.
fired up a couple of Nashers.
Yeah.
Um, the Yeah, so we're gonna go up there on the hill and do that.
I was worried that, yeah, I thought you were going to try the Nashers first because they were in, it was a long charge. But they were, then I realized I screwed up that they were a long charge into the flank of that unit.
Flank of the Asklander unit.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It's like, oh shoot, if he makes that, the game's over. Cause,
Yeah, the toughness on the Asklanders made my mind up on this one
yeah, yeah,
because I was actually I was actually considering which unit to go do,
right,
which unit I could go after,
right.
because I don't think I had the firepower to get them both because those units are pretty powerful with their great weapons. It's a giant in each, a character in each.
Yeah, they're pretty strong. I thought, I was hoping I could back up far enough. I said, I think that 2 inches earlier would help me.
Right, that's correct.
Because my whole thing was to hold that off because I thought I could fight one of your units with no problem. Um, two of your units, and especially the elite ones, I know was going to be bad.
Right.
The two regular ones, I thought maybe I could hold out, but
So the Ed Bashers are going up top. All three units declare charges onto the your Asklander unit on the left.
yep,
Again, there's no chance all three can make it,
yep.
but
And
this
you,
way
and you
it
called the
doesn't.
war cry this turn
And I
also.
did use the war cry. This way, there's I have my options to which one I leave out of the
Yes.
combat if they all three make it.
Hmm.
The Iron Orcs needed a 10. The Spear Orcs beside them needed a 9, and the guys on the end I think needed a 7.
Yeah.
Nothing major, and I think it was a short roll up on top as
Yeah.
well for the Ed Bashers.
Yeah.
And I did not charge the Nashers anywhere
No, you did not.
in this combat. So it worked out that the Iron Orcs failed, which let my two big orc blocks come in and line up like you see them.
Right.
Up on
And
top.
you were blocked by a few things. One was the spider, and two
Correct.
was the lineup of the units.
Yeah, and the Iron Orcs actually just flat out failed
Yeah.
their roll anyway, but which is fine. And those are swift stride rolls.
Yes.
Because of the war cry.
Right.
Up on top, you can see the Ed Bashers have made it in as well.
Yep.
There you go. It's a better picture of that one. And back here, you can see the Wolf Riders have come back over to the right. Line up in front of your
conga line.
Conga line in front of your Berserkers.
Yep.
And
still didn't realize that they were light troops. I didn't realize that until after the game. I read the list closer.
Yeah. Up on the top right, you can see that the Nashers have just moved up and come back in. And there you go. The Boar Boys head off to the right to swing around. They're a scoring unit. At this point, they're looking at the breakthrough territory back there.
Yep.
Would have loved to have been able to get them on the hill so they could see that mage, but didn't have the movement for it.
Right.
And
at this point, I was sad that I was hoping only one unit would get in, and I figured it'd be the end one, but two got in, and I still thought, well, at least it wasn't the Iron Orcs, and it's a lot of strength 4 attacks, but I can probably weather that if I can do enough damage back to you to hold out.
And then on the remaining spider that you didn't manage to shoot off,
chapped
of course,
up the other unit.
Chaps up. He's a little bit closer to what we see in the picture because
there's a big tusk in the way.
I was getting tusk blocked. So we have that there, and that's it. So smashed into there. Now this was the phase where you just decided you didn't want to roll anything higher than a 2 or 3.
Well, first I totally forgot that I had a binding scroll because this was the turn that I would need it. I had it, and I've once again not looking my own fault. Look properly at the army list that I printed out, so I didn't use that, which would have helped. And then I think I let you get everything through because I wanted to stop Bring the Pain.
Correct. I got Break the Spirit through, and you thought about that one and then let it go.
Yeah.
Knowing that Bring the Pain was still there.
Yeah, and
then
I think I put like 6 dice into it.
6 dice to my 4 or something like that.
And I rolled terrible, and you got it anyway. It's like, oh,
yes,
this is not going to go. Then I knew this was not going to go well.
Yes, and that's my general on the right hand side of this big spear block. who was lined up on your BSB
Yes,
or your general?
BSB.
BSB. Okay.
And my mage is in the other corner.
Okay. And we did the roll. He butchered you. We had to look up something. I forgot what it
Well,
was. It turns up that you
I
had
was
a.
confused looking at the army builder roster on what the armor save was. It wasn't making any sense to me. And then
Turns out you had a 6-up armor save when we were done.
that I had one because the +2 wasn't reflecting, and then they had like these icons and things, and then I'd forgotten that. Well, we didn't do it until after the combat, so he might disappear and come back because you killed him.
Right.
And I was like, wait a minute. Then I figured it out, and then it's always also got a lucky charm.
Right.
So he ended up having coming back with 1 wound.
Coming back with 1 wound. Right.
I don't think, did he do anything? He did like 2 wounds on you, I think.
He did a couple wounds to me somewhere. He did not attack my general. No,
he did.
He did attack my general. Did 1 wound to him.
Yeah,
he did 1 wound.
I was hoping with all of his attacks and no
the
armor
shield
save
breaker.
on you that I would.
Correct, but you needed 4s to hit. 5s to hit. It was 5s to hit, 4s to wound, and
yeah, but he was he was re-rolling because he had battle
Right.
focus and all those things I thought would.
Yeah. As it went, you killed more than I thought you would. With the unit, not the guy.
Yeah, the giant kind of whiffed, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, well,
he needed 5
at this point with his just 5 attacks.
And then I didn't get many stomp attacks on you, I don't think.
Correct. I think your stomp was
like 2,
fairly low or whatever.
And
but anyway, so with Bring the Pain and Break the Spirit, I killed a bunch of them. You can see them lined up back there dead.
Yes.
But there's a good sized pile back here on my side too.
Yeah, but it was still, I think, yeah.
And then they
It was an auto break anyway because you killed so many more.
Right.
Because you killed like, I don't remember how many guys, 15 plus the.
Oh, that's right. Because those weren't the only dead. Now that I think about it, those were the ones you stopped pulling them at that point.
Yeah,
and
I put
started
dice.
Marking dice.
Yeah, because I think
that's a good point.
Yeah, I think I was down by 8 or 9. I couldn't pass.
So we smashed them, ran through them. We both rolled 10 for the overrun. So set up side by side.
And the wargs failed their leadership and they ran.
Yeah, they weren't happy about seeing their buddies get killed, and they decided to head for the hills.
Yes.
Your big unit, on the other hand, did stand.
Yes.
Didn't take them.
And I thought that was going to be bad. I didn't think it was going to be that bad.
Right.
But it was.
And then the Ed Bashers on the hill, actually, I thought underperformed.
They did.
And only killed like 5 or 6 of yours.
Well, the difference there is these guys had their shields and they had the +1 for the Asklander battle fever.
Oh, okay.
And the problem with the other unit, that's why I'm thinking that they're not such a good idea, is because you just bleed guys.
Right, the great weapon guys.
Yeah, because basically, I had no saves on those guys, so you were re-rolling all that stuff, and so you just kill a ton of guys.
Yeah.
Whereas these guys at least had saves.
So they break and ran. I elected to let them go and actually managed to make my roll, so to let them go.
Yes.
And then I turned to face the center of the board.
And my mage.
Your mage made his.
I think he made it at this point.
He did. He was within 6 of that Asklander up top, but made the check. And that's where we're going to end my turn, I think. Here we go, and this is back up for a minute.
That's fine.
Okay. Turn 4. This is what it looks like.
This is just the overall battle. With your charges and everything, now you're so far away from my guys in the white table, they're never going to get to anywhere. So these guys...
forgot that they're light troops. And
because I didn't realize it until after the game. Right. So now, I had no choice, but I had to charge these guys.
After looking at this, I also made a mistake here. I should have just fled.
Yeah.
Because you can redirect at the Iron Orcs, and all you're going to go is D6 towards them.
Yeah.
I should have.
I had an extreme.
Even if you could have redirected, or did you have it?
I had an extreme charge on them.
Okay.
I assume that was why you brought them over.
I brought them over. Well, I wasn't when I brought them over, or what? I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
Don't know.
No, I did have an extreme charge.
Well, I didn't want you. No, I brought them over because I did not want you moving your full distance into the combat.
Right.
This way, you hit me, reform, you advance 3 inches.
Right.
That's what I was thinking. And by fleeing at this, I would have accomplished the same thing and maybe got the Wolf Riders back if they found it route.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a bad choice on my point.
Right. Well, I thought sacrificing was fine because it basically ensured that.
But this ensures you don't make it. So
I wasn't going to make it.
That's the positive side.
I would have taken a charge, and if I had gotten in, it had been nice. Yeah.
So there you go. You come in and smack me there.
Yes.
And
the Scarls, I think they just marched.
I think they just marched up
Yeah.
as far as they could.
So it's 8 inches. It's a extra deep board.
Right.
Brought my dogs forward.
They could not get far enough forward to get in front of the Iron Orcs.
They could not get in front of. I
Because
was
you
hoping to
checked
get in
that.
front of the Iron Orcs, but I didn't have the distance.
Right. So you came up and got in position
So I
for next
figured
turn.
I just get ready for next turn because people are going to be turning around. And I guess the Warriors didn't rally this time?
They did. I don't think they just haven't turned around.
Okay, I thought maybe they rallied next. Yeah, they had to
No.
because
Yeah, because I charged them.
Right, and you did. And then,
you did charge the spider down there to get rid of him instead of relying on your mighty throwing weapons.
Yes. I charged him because I was trying to figure out how and this took me far too long, actually. Trying to figure out, because I needed to charge him, and I needed to do a reform in such a way that hopefully would keep you out of my flank.
The only thought I had here, but it would have just been a matter of one turn, would have been if you would have just turned sideways to the. I don't think you could, though. Never mind. I was going to say turn sideways to the wolf rider, spider rider, and just back up towards your mage to open the distance between the Iron Orcs and you.
All I could do,
but I don't think it was
I could have backed up
enough.
straight. The problem is if I backed up straight, then the back corner.
Oh, that's right. You can't. Never mind. Now I know why.
I don't have musicians.
You don't have musicians. You can't reform and move.
Right, and I couldn't back up straight where I was because then the orcs on the side would have me in the flank.
Right.
So I didn't want to do that. Oh, my archers rallied, by the way.
The archers rallied.
So I didn't see any other option. I thought about pulling my general out and my charging with. I couldn't charge.
Your general couldn't get out of the unit because you were less than an inch away.
Because I was an inch away, couldn't charge the general out, and I couldn't charge the giant out.
Right.
Because how you placed them well. So yeah, my only option was to back up. I didn't see any. So I charge these guys. At least I'll be able to reform, and I'll keep you out of the flank, and maybe last a turn.
And there you go. You can barely see the warg on the top left has rallied and turned around.
Yes. Okay. And the mage just shifted around a bit to try to.
He failed his march test.
He did.
Which was okay because you had originally planned to go dash through that gap, and
well, there was no gap. So my plan. I was
okay.
At one point, I was like, "Am I going to be able to get through the thing?" No.
There won't be a gap.
After I charge, there's just no gap. Yeah.
Right.
But I've.
Oh, look at that! Surprise! You beat the Wolf Riders.
Both the Wolf Riders, and then I think my overrun was like
actually
nothing.
Well, there was no overrun. You had just reformed because I was facing off to the right.
Ah, yes, what it was.
So you had to just reform, which again pinned you back there. Which
I had to roll because of the. No, I didn't have to roll.
Yeah, I actually made you roll your attacks on this one, even though I knew I was lost, because I was hoping to have one Wolf Rider left on the off chance that you have to chase him.
Yes.
Which was funny. But you didn't, of course.
Yeah, I think the character in the dais took care of him by himself.
They did.
Yeah. And there's I beat the spider.
You reformed a little wide.
And I had to, because of the guys behind me, I had to give up a rank and go a little wider.
Right.
Which didn't want to do, but hey, you do what you have to.
And I think that was it.
Yes, I lost a shield.
So, and there's my wound back there on my general, floating around behind that block.
Yep.
So it goes back to my turn. They're both in the front. They're both going to charge you.
I'm trying to remember. I think I blew my magic phase.
Well, your magic phase was reduced because you're down to one mage.
Yes. But I still had 3 spells.
But you still had 3 spells. What did you do? Was that another bad magic phase? No, you had the bad magic defense phase, but you followed up with a bad magic offense phase.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yes.
But it looks like you got something off because I see a spell up there on the top, guys. Can't remember what that would have been.
That was I got the +1 armor off on those 2 units.
Okay. All right.
That's what it was.
What's the shamanism thing on me? Oh, that's my scarification.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so my turn. You did rally the warg, so that unit 1 spear block is going to charge into them.
Right.
The black orcs and the iron orcs and the Ed Bashers are going into your other Asklander block.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. And of course, they both make it because they're within close.
Yeah.
The boar riders up front, I did not want to take a chance on hitting you and not killing you and you killing me.
Right.
and then you have the flank charge on my
Right.
orc. So I just walked up there and stood in front of you, so you had to charge me.
Yep.
It protects my flank.
Right. That makes sense.
The other spear block in the center just about faced and moved forward a bit.
Yep.
That's the one with my general in it. He's positioned there in the middle where
Yep.
everybody's within range, except for the orcs on the hill, of course.
Yep.
The boar boy's up there.
Right.
And yeah, looking good there.
And the Nashers are coming through
Nashers
the woods.
come into the woods, heading towards the center, back towards
Yep.
your ambushing guys.
Yep.
Okay. And this is done it again where it's locked.
It's locked the picture again.
Yep. So I'm going to take a pause real quick. This
Okay.
time we can take a real pause because it says stop recording. Look at that. Actually, I'm not even going to bother. Let's just disconnect that. I'll just cut the, rather than have two files, I'll just cut it.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I'm sure I'll remember. What's the chance I forget that?
80, 85.
Big blanks. Be careful what you say because there could be a big blank spot in the middle of this video with us just talking.
I'm looking forward to Scarluck's comments.
Connect. Here. There. Got that. Okay. Slideshow from the current. And we're rolling again because I'm still recording. Perfect. All right, and there's a better picture of the Nashers coming back towards to deal with your ambushers.
Yep.
Not that they're going to deal with them, but they're going to get in the way.
Yep.
Is what their goal in life is.
Yep.
It's a sad life for a unit that's designated as chaff.
Yeah, well.
We've had that conversation.
Is it really chaff or is it a support unit that can function as emergency chaff?
I have always considered those, with the way they're built at 130 points, as heavy chaff.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's just me. So casting again, you're going to make. I think this turn you used your binding scroll.
Then I looked and said, "Son of a gun! I do have a binding scroll, and I'm going to use it now."
Yep, and you did. So I no longer have the one, but I did push through Break the Spirit.
Yes.
I don't have Bring the Pain,
Right.
but I do have Break the Spirit.
Right.
Got that. So that's what's going on there. It's a good thing is you're -1 to hit, which is great because these are the elite troops, so you're going to need 5s to hit them.
Right.
Now we do this combat, and we're not doing it yet, I guess.
Nope.
I guess we are. We've already removed your casualties. Yeah, we have, because you are. Now that I think about it, your casualties have been removed.
Or some of them have.
Right?
Looks like we've got guys missing.
Is
it locking again?
It's locked again. Turn 5. Disconnect. Gonna have to go back to a wired connection.
Mm-hmm.
This wireless display is just not staying with it.
If it stops again, just maximize it on your screen. We'll just do it on your screen.
Good point. Okay, so we do this combat. We killed you. We killed a bunch of guys. You killed some of me. I forgot one thing. You are now 8 wide and should not have got a rank bonus. Don't know if it would have mattered in the big scheme of things. I forgot. This was a fairly close combat. I definitely didn't blow you out.
Yeah, I forgot about it, and I would have got more attacks.
You would have got, well, don't you? Yeah, you would have got a few guys in the back, correct?
Yeah.
1, 2, whatever that is left in the back rank.
Yeah.
But anyway, so.
Yeah, it's because of those 2 big bases. It wasn't obvious. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, we weren't thinking.
Yeah, no, weren't thinking at all.
Yeah, we did that wrong. But it's okay one way or the other.
Yeah, you won the fight, but not by that much.
Right.
Having these guys having, I think the extra armor helped me.
I think it did.
Yeah.
So there it is going into turn 5. So it's back to you.
And I think I challenged and you spawned with your champion from your
Yes, because you did the double crush on my champion
Yeah,
and managed to rack up the 4
and I
wounds.
got the 4 wounds to help me with combat res. Yeah,
Correct.
yeah,
That is correct. My Ed Basher champion
right.
took it on the chin.
Yes.
All right. So back to your turn 5. That's what it looks like at the beginning.
So I decide to. You didn't charge me, so I'm going to charge you.
Yep. Well, it's either that or stand there and look at me, I guess.
Yeah. Um, the wolves, I decide. Well, it doesn't hurt to charge them into the flank because you, when you hit my guys, you pretty much kill them anyway. So at least this would drag. It would take away attack. If you got, you don't want to leave the guys because it'd be a +2 combat res. So you direct attacks against them, and you'd probably kill them off. But at least maybe I would have 2 more guys swinging back at you with great weapons.
Right. Yeah, I wasn't sold on that idea because the Iron Orcs were going double choppas, probably.
Yes. Yeah.
And which means I was going to need 4s to wound you on the guys up front.
Yeah.
I guess it's only 3s for the other guys. So
yeah.
And you're right, it pulls attacks off you.
Well, they're both the same resilience, so
Well, the guys are 4s. These are the wolves are 3, right?
They're both 3s resilience.
The unit's only 3s.
Yeah.
For some reason, I
they're
thought
strength
4.
4.
Strength 4 and weapon skill 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Anyway, so yeah, it's better choice than I thought. Anyway, so.
And then
surprisingly, they made it.
They did make it. Yes. And nothing was even close, so I just had to march. I should have spread those guys out a little bit more. But yes.
Okay. March forward.
That's all I could do.
Up top, you did 3 wounds to me.
Okay. I won the combat.
Yeah. You're an inch behind me. You
Yeah.
fell down the hill.
Oh, yes, but I didn't catch you. But I did I? Oh, I think I tried not to pursue you.
Yes, and failed.
And I failed, and I had to pursue. Yeah.
Correct. You did not want to pursue me, but your
Right.
BSB was out of range, if I recall.
And I think I cast the plus armor again. No, yes, I think I did get it off again.
Yeah, I can't. It looks like Awaken the Beast again back there. Maybe it's both.
Not. I think it's
oh, you put it
the
down.
Attribute, the other 2 attributes, yeah.
Okay. All right. So this was weird. So the combat went off, and you've got Break the Spirit on you, and almost the entire route all but like 2 files ran through my orcs.
Yeah, I think this time
because I won the combat.
I think you
brutalized.
I think you
auto broke you.
Yeah, I think I didn't do anything to you, and yeah, you killed a lot of guys. I challenged again. You responded with your mage who had scarification up.
Right.
And I did not manage to get either one of my.
Did you? I think you even rolled a 1 to wound with it this turn, didn't you?
Did I roll a 1? But neither one of them caused any wounds on you. And I think the Dias actually may have caused 1 wound. I don't remember. But that was
no. I've got dead guys over there.
No, on your mage I'm talking about.
On the mage, correct.
Yeah,
because there's a wound marker back there for him.
Yeah. And the giant, of course, didn't do much again because he needed 5s to hit. Yeah, I think it was an auto break.
But the amazing thing was you ran through my orc unit without taking a single wound.
Yes.
To anything.
Well, I had
you took wounds from the other chest.
So first I had a Break the Spirit. No, I think it was. Did I run through him?
First you had Break the Spirit.
Right, for the hill.
For a few guys were on the hill.
Yes.
And then all of them were in the clear.
Right.
And then a few guys at the end were on the wall.
Yes. So I had Break Spirit for the hill, and I had the 50-50 for your units, and then I had the wall. Yeah, and then I ended up with, I don't remember, 4.
It's like 4 or 5 guys.
Yes, but I ran through units. Yeah, I didn't lose anybody running through units, but I did lose a number of units to guys to Break the Spirit.
Correct. The Break the Spirit killed a lot more than running through my unit, and I definitely thought it was going to be the other way around.
Yes.
And you've currently got 2 wounds on your giant.
And those 2 dogs are dead. You killed them, and you did strike them with I think you used your BSB on one of them.
My BSB went first, so I used him and tried to kill him and only killed 1.
Yeah, and then
the 2 orcs had to fight him.
Right.
I had to put all 3 because I couldn't take a chance.
Right. Exactly. And you put.
I didn't want to.
So the plan worked, but it didn't matter.
Right.
So yeah.
Correct. So there's 2 wounds on your giant, and there's 2 wounds on your BSB at the moment.
Yes. after
all that mess.
Yeah.
And your mage, of course, panicked from that nonsense.
And the mage panicked, and the closest guy happened to be the one unit, and he ran towards
my other guys. They were facing their other way.
Yeah, and
they actually, we forgot it last round, but they actually beat your.
They charged the dogs. The wargs rallied. You charged them. They stood. You beat them, and you were able to stay in control, which I was hoping you'd fail and run off the table.
No, I chased you because.
Did you chase me?
You've got. I think. Aren't you on the corner right now, or did you go off?
I think this is the point where you've charged me in the corner.
Okay, maybe so.
Because I ran into the corner, I think, when you charged me the previous time.
Okay.
I will see in the next photo, maybe.
Maybe.
So it's like, hey, I managed to.
Oh yeah, they're gone. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the one I had to force you out. You're correct.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to, and I managed to make my roll not to chase you off the table.
I was hoping you'd run off the table and give me some hope, but didn't work out.
So we have that. And then, what's this? So, still the pictures from the final end of your turn.
Yeah.
So my turn, the Nashers come forward, put the unit on my right. The Berserkers are in my flank, so if they hit me, they're going to the left. The other guys, if the Huskarls are blocked, and if they hit me, they're just going into the woods.
And this is just not taking care of the commander formation, and then
getting a little too close,
and letting the units be too close together was just stupid.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's up here?
So
what is going on here? I'm trying to figure
you rallied.
I rallied my boar riders.
Your
on the
two
top
boar
right.
riders. Yeah. And have you?
I could not charge you this turn because my own orcs were protecting you.
Right.
So the only thing I could do was come forward with the Ed Bashers and the Iron Orcs and about face.
Were the Ed Bashers was somebody in the way?
I don't think so. Well, I mean, at this point, they were before I moved.
Yeah.
Because I've shifted the big orc spear block.
Because there was a reason. Yeah, there was a reason that the
correct. They could not charge.
They could not charge. It's not. They weren't clear to me. So yeah.
Yeah, because they were in your back and they just couldn't get to you with our orcs in my way.
So you bring them up, and then you turned around the other orcs to face my fleeing guys. And
so the orcs in the corner are facing into the center of the table.
So we have a new sandwich. We left one sandwich for another sandwich.
Yeah, this one looks even worse because there's 4 units surrounding much less of you.
Yes. Not the other one that looked too good to me either.
No, nothing really looks good at this point.
Yeah.
So there you have that. This is going into your turn 6.
Yes.
So your turn 6.
So
you do what? Okay.
I went ahead and charged the. I'm not sure what. I think I just did it to do it.
It's 130 points.
No, I mean I charged. I mean I just split these guys. They couldn't. Right. They failed. I don't know what happened.
You had no choice.
I had no choice. So
they couldn't get past the.
They couldn't get past, and
so it's just a matter of moving.
So yeah, I think
you wanted them for the last
just
turn.
whatever, just for the photo phase.
Right.
So I did that, and then my I think we're ahead.
We skipped.
So my general's unit does rally, and I forget.
Oh, this was what happened. Your general's unit rallied, but the mage, despite
the mage did not rally. Correct. Even with the general's leadership, and he ran through.
He ran through my unit and hid behind me.
Yes, and didn't get off the table.
And also didn't take a wound.
He may have taken one, but
no, because
it was 0 or 1. But okay, he didn't die.
He did not die.
So he's now shielded in the back corner.
It's annoying.
And then there's the guys
recharging
because it's like, okay, I can turn the face. What's that going to? At least get away from these big units.
So surprisingly,
kill them, reform. Yay. Their day's over. Okay, so I rallied and I faced.
You kept everybody in your front. With
the front, except for the big unit in the back.
Well, correct.
Yeah.
So my turn, and you did. We actually pushed in the combat with the boar riders up top on your phase.
Did we push, or did you just make your? I think I won. You made.
Because you didn't kill any.
You didn't kill any of me either.
I think I was down 1, maybe. Yeah, you didn't remove them at this point.
Yeah, but no, I won the combat, but you made your roll.
Okay. So this turn, the orcs in the corner charged what was left of your block. Again, it forced you through 2 units.
So, I decided to flee. It's like, I have no chance if I stay there. And
right.
Slim chance maybe somebody will make it if I run through all that stuff.
And you go through everything, and it wipes out the unit, wipes out your BSB or your general, whichever that is. And the giant got out of that mess with 5 wounds left on him.
Yes.
Popped through the back.
I think I forgot those points too. Okay.
Half the giant.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it wasn't. He wasn't at half. Remember we talked about that because he wasn't even at half.
Yeah.
Because he's 7. I would have had to do it in 6, I think. Because he starts with 7.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I don't remember the numbers. Whatever. But he has 5 wounds on him now.
So
yeah, he's got 2 left.
I think the BSB made it through the first unit with no,
He did.
And then he failed both rolls on the
on the second unit.
On the second unit, and he doesn't have any ward save. I'm sorry, the general. There was no ward save,
Right.
So he just died, which was very sad. It would have been glorious if he made it through.
So here's what I did.
And there was like 3 or 4 guys, and they all failed.
Right. So here is the one on the final bottom of turn 6.
And I destroyed your.
Till the bottom of turn 6, you did.
Okay.
On my turn, you killed them all.
Okay.
And turned to face.
Right.
Turned into the unit just for the picture phase,
yes.
like you said.
Yes.
My mage left the unit of Ed Bashers and walked down the hill so he could have a line of sight for a swarm of insects.
Right.
And tried to zap you and managed to put 2 wounds on you with the swarm of insects.
Did I save one with an armor save? Or did you just put
Maybe.
2 on me? I think I saved one with an armor
Could be.
save.
Because you
had an armor of like 6, so
I cast, and you had the choice. You had to stop one of the 2, the totemic summons or the swarm of insects, was what it came down to, if I recall.
Yeah, that's what it was. Okay. And I thought, oh, it's a breath attack,
right,
or a weaker, so
swarm of insects. And then I fired my bolt thrower at the giant, but unfortunately missed.
Yes,
because it would have been nice to polish him off.
Yeah,
there's the bolt thrower. Yay.
Yep, who survived the entire game.
Who survived the game.
Yes.
Here's you pointing out the fact that your mage is left
still alive.
Fleeing
Yep.
with more than 25%. So you only got I only got half points for that. Here's you pointing out that your giant is there with full points. Oh, it's half points because he's fleeing.
Yep.
There's your nice of you to point that out for me. But despite all that, it turned out to a 19-1 orc.
So I think if we calculated, it might turn to an 18-2.
Yeah, keep dreaming.
It's only a curb stomping.
Keep dreaming.
Yeah.
Here, I wanted to. This was the situation. This was the turn, the big turn.
Yes, that was the big turn.
This you haven't backed up at this point, and you haven't shifted the guys to the left yet. I mean, the wargs up top.
Right.
I kind of expected from this one. I thought your mage would leave that block of archers up front, and that archer unit would come forward and just sit in front of the head bashers.
Right.
And I thought your giant would come out and block something.
Yeah.
Of the unit on the right. That's kind of what I thought. I don't know what it would have bought you, but that's kind of what I was expecting.
Yeah. I thought I'd be able to back up and I'd have enough
room so that
distance that all these guys wouldn't be fighting me.
Right. Okay. That was just my point there.
Yeah.
The other one here, I got kind of greedy with this.
Mm-hmm.
I should have, if I would have charged with one of the other units first, and then you fled, you were probably going to be off the board.
Oh, I'd definitely be off the board.
So I probably should have done that, and then charged with both the unit up front and the unit on the right, because that's enough to kill you. I
was surprised you charged with that unit
to give you even that opportunity.
To give me a say, oh great, thank God, because I thought you were just going to charge with these 2 guys. And,
it wouldn't have mattered what order I did them in, but the guys in the back just didn't need to charge.
And I'm pretty sure that either one of those would beat my unit, no problem.
Right, especially the unit up front with the big spear block with the general.
Yeah, well, even your other guy, I think would have been fine. The general's somewhat scary, but he's only got 2 wounds left on him. There were only 4 guys left.
Right.
Rank bonus. The giant was close to being, had wounds. So I thought, that's what I thought you'd do.
Yeah. But anyway,
I was happy you did.
That was just my thing there.
Yeah.
I thought I should have definitely got overzealous on this.
Yeah.
Lost out the opportunity to get half those giant points.
You just wanted to give me an opportunity to roll all those dice to see what would happen.
I did. I wanted to see.
And it was so. And it was like the last roll on my general's like, I'm going to make it, and blop.
Falls over dead.
Damn.
Trips over the last guy.
On the last orc.
He's trying to duck
Who are you? Clunk.
You're not supposed to be here.
You're not supposed to. I like that helmet.
Yes. So. But yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Asklanders, I like the army.
Hmm.
I think it's a really good army. Maybe a little too good in some places, but it's a good army.
Yeah, I thought it was. I said the last few games I played with the Demon Legions, which I think are a much better army, but to me they weren't as fun as this army. I mean, even though I got curb stomped, um, I think you can have fun with this, and it requires a little bit of a bit of a learning curve on my part, not and
Well,
a little more studying also.
you actually having never actually even played this army
Yeah,
once
yeah,
was a definitely negative to you.
yeah. Well, that just made the game take longer because I had to
Contributed
keep.
well. It also contributed to the outcome of the game because
Yeah,
you're playing an army you're not familiar with at
right,
all.
right.
Um, you know,
But
and a list to tell you the truth, you hadn't even put that much thought into at this
yeah.
point.
So, but it was, but even with all that, it's like, hey, you feel like you have different options to do different things, and it definitely has a flavor, and I like armies with a flavor that's interesting.
Right.
So yeah,
All right.
so
Oh, that's going to do it for
my big
now.
lesson is next time if I play on a deep table, I'm not coming on the back.
No, that probably yeah, yeah, yeah. But you have to come on the same flank, don't you? The same table
Both units
edge.
have to come on the same table
Okay.
edge, or
That
even
is
you don't have to even do that. You can just set them in your battle line.
right. No, but I'm saying if they, yeah,
Yeah.
it would have been nice to put one on each side, but that
Can't,
wasn't
yeah.
necessary.
No,
You
no,
can't do that.
no, not with those guys. No, you can't
Right.
do that. But yeah,
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
yeah.
Anyway. All right. Well, that's going to do it for now.
Until next time.
Thanks for listening.